Anybody know T.I? Cause I know everybody at school or high school didn't like him. So I got a reward, man. If y'all send me the yearbook pictures or something that's showing where he from, man, I will pay y'all personally, man. You know what I'm saying? Say he got a phone conversation. If you tell it, if we had a phone conversation, you need to tell her what the phone conversation was about. It's about you getting punched in the face at Club Pure by one of my goons, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you have a new artist like Shawty Lo, who's causing friction with you. He's obviously calling you out. You know, he's obviously challenging the throne.
Yeah, I hear
you know, which in my opinion is
if you could call it that.
Well, you know, you see it as competition. You don't take it personally.
I'm sorry.
Hip-hop beefs rarely end on a good note, and that was definitely true for T.I. and Shawty Lo. While their feud isn't as widely known as some others, it got just as messy.
I don't hate Tip, you know what I'm saying? He a great rapper. But I'm from the streets for real. That's what I do for real. I'm on Bankhead for real. 2610. He's talking about y'all come and do something.
Things between them went from mutual respect to full-blown disrespect almost overnight, and T.I. definitely caught the short end of the stick in this one. For starters, Shawty Lo called T.I. out, claiming he was lying about where he was really from. This set off a chain reaction with both the streets, and the industry starting to question T.I.'s street credibility. MIG Sidul.
We won't know, man. How y'all seen T.I? Is he from Bankhead?
Man, we ain't seen no when he bricks, man. For real, man. Man, we already know who you be, Shawty Lo, baby, man. Why you say you pull up in that Bankhead, they already know, man. They already know who you.
But it didn't stop there. Shoto's accusations also led to T.I. being labeled with one of the worst tags in the rap game. A snitch that label stuck hard and has haunted T.I. for years, with other celebrities continuing to bring it up even today.
Tell you like this, when I saw that, I think T.I. fine. I think he went up there and just got the talking.
This beef got so intense that it went beyond just words. It spilled over into diss tracks, public back and forths, heated moments during performances, and even physical altercations between their crews. It was chaos.
You know, it's a lot of times, you know, you find yourself in positions around people who don't like you, but most of the time that's just because they don't like their damn self, you know?
What exactly went down between these two? Let's break it all down. Shawty Lo and T.I. were both making waves in their own ways. Shawty Lo had already built his name in the industry with his group D4L, while T.I. was solidifying himself as one of Atlanta's biggest rap stars. Both of them claimed to rep Bankhead, and both were known for their ties to the streets. T had been in the game since he was a kid, hustling and getting into trouble. By the age of 14, he had already been arrested multiple times. Shawty Lo, on the other hand, got into the rap game later in life, while T.I. had been rhyming since he was 8 and pushing mixtapes out of his car by 1996. Shawty Lo was still heavily involved in the streets when T.I. started gaining momentum. He dropped his first video for I'm Serious in 2001. Interestingly enough, a lot of the cars featured in that video were borrowed from Shawty Lo, who was already established in the streets at the time. You can even spot Shawty Lo in the video casually. Walking by back then, everything seemed cool between the two, but things eventually went left after Shawty Lo decided to pursue his solo rap career. By the time Shawty Lo left D4L to focus on his own music, T.I. was already a massive name in hip-hop. He had chart-topping hits, Grammy Awards, and was widely regarded as one of the South's biggest rappers. Despite all that success, T.I. always portrayed himself as someone who stayed connected to the streets. Naturally, Shawty Lo reached out to collaborate on a track, hoping they could make something happen. But T.I. turned him down, and that's where the beef started to take shape.
The reason he made that song, it was because I didn't get on a song that he wanted me to get on for them, but that just wasn't my thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, the music that they were doing, I didn't feel it fit me. It wasn't, you know.
According to reports, Shawty Lo felt disrespected. He had helped T.I in the past by lending him cars for his video when he was just getting started, and now T.I was acting like he didn't even know who Shawty was. Shawty didn't take the rejection lightly and started calling T.I out. But T.I had his own version of the story, he said. It wasn't personal. He just wasn't feeling the song Shawty L wanted him to be on.
I said the same thing that any Atlanta say when he wants you when he looking for an opportunity from you.
Yeah.
With me. I say, man, you know what I'm saying? Like 200, baby, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Did me just like that. Hit your weight up. Roll the dice, kept the game.
But as more details came to light, another layer of their history was revealed. Turns out back in the day when T.I was hustling and trying to make a name for himself in the streets, Shawty L was already a major player in the drug game. Naturally, T.I looked up to him and approached him for guidance and help in the business, but according to T.I, Shawty L coldly turned him down, refusing to give him any support.
I was saying nothing though. I ain't raised no hell. You know what I mean? And when I found out that was him, I was like, oh, get your weight up.
About a year before the feud between T.I and Shawty Lo really heated up, T.I found himself in a tough situation that put his street credibility in the spotlight just hours before he was set to perform at the BET Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta. The feds swooped in and arrested him. The charges were no joke: possession of 3 unregistered machine guns, 2 silencers, and being a felon in possession of firearms. Apparently, T.I had tried to buy the weapons from someone who was secretly working with the feds, setting him up for what looked like an airtight case for T.I. This was a nightmare. He already had a long WRA sheet and was now looking at a potential 10-year sentence for the new charges. Fans were bracing for the worst, expecting him to face serious time. But then something unexpected happened. T.I pleaded guilty, and instead of a decade behind bars, he only received a 1-year sentence on top. Of that, he ended up serving in just a few months in prison before being released. The light sentence had everyone talking. How does someone get caught trying to buy machine guns, plead guilty, and walk away with barely a slap on the wrist? It didn't sit right with a lot of people, and Shawty Lo made sure to capitalize on the rumors. In interviews, Shawty Lo suggested that the only way to get a deal like that in a federal case was if you cooperated with the authorities. He didn't outright say it, but the implication was clear. He was calling T a snitch.
I'm a gun, convicted felon. Remember the server? Go serve a year later on. You can't buy your weapon.
SHL's accusations got plenty of attention, but it turns out T.I might have actually been the one to throw the first jab back in 2007. T.I dropped the track Big Things Popping, and some people believe he was taking shots at Shawty Lo in the lyrics in one part of the song, TIRS. Do it to the maximum. And take it while you ask them, don't listen to them suckers when they say you too irrational. See, I said I was king and them lames started laughing. The same suckers now want the king on a track with
Said I was king and them lanes started laughing. No, same sucker now want the king.
The line seemed to hint at Shawty Lo, who had been publicly upset about T.I turning down his request to collaborate after T.I finished serving his time and got back to work. He addressed the rumors and the growing tension with Shawty Lo. In an interview with MTV, he dismissed the idea that he needed to use anyone else's name to gain attention, calling it nonsense.
I mean, I never looked to gain acknowledgement or recognition by mentioning anyone else's name. It was an issue with me and another person. It was an issue with me and another person. It wasn't a publicity stunt or
a marketing tool. When DJ Sway asked if Shawty Lo was even a real competitor for him, T.I didn't waste much time on the question. He just laughed it off like it was a joke.
You don't take it personally.
I'm sorry.
That dismissal didn't sit well with Shawty Lo, who decided to hit back harder. He started questioning T.I.'s authenticity, calling out his claims about being from the west side of Atlanta, specifically Bankhead. T.I had always proudly repped Bankhead in his music, but Shawty Lo was calling cap on the whole story. He claimed that nobody in Bankhead even knew T.I. and accused him of building a false narrative about his street ties.
If anybody know T.I, I know everybody at school or high school didn't like him, so I got a reward, man. If y'all send me the yearbook pictures or something that's showing where he from, man, I will pay y'all personally, man.
To drive his point home, Shawty Lo dropped Undone, a diss track aimed squarely at T.I on the track. Shawty Lo rapped, "I've done it all, I've done it all." Who mentioned Bankhead didn't acknowledge me, what you blind need some glasses to see. He added fuel to the fire, with more lines like, yeah, I'm hot, dude. They say, I'm burning up me. The rare dude, I'm gonna turn it up, add the fire to the flame. Who mentioned Bankhead didn't say my name, but the line that really stuck and became a catchphrase in the feud was dude said, he from the West. Sidewell Goodman, it must be two sides. That lyric hit hard and had people questioning T.I.'s entire backstory.
Take it from the west side, that damn, it must be two sides.
Shawty Lo even made a whole video driving around Bankhead, interviewing people to see if they knew T.I. The footage was meant to embarrass T.I, showing that his supposed roots in the neighborhood were questionable.
Original from Bankhead, man, you know what I'm saying? We won't know, man. How you seen T.I? How you seen him? Y'all gonna try to keep talking about y'all. What we won't know, man. How y'all seen T.I? Is he from Bankhead?
Man, we ain't seen enough when he bricks, man.
The time, T.I was one of the biggest rappers in the world, so having his street credibility challenged so publicly was a bad look in response to Shawty. Lo's constant jabs, T.I decided to go all in with a diss track called What's Up, What's Happening. Not only did he come for Shawty Lo lyrically, but he also filmed a music video in Bowen Homes, a neighborhood in Bankhead that Shawty Lo.
We gonna ride on up to the top of Baker Road, and then we gonna ride back down.
The track was ruthless, with T.I coming for Shawty Lo and his crew with lines like, I bet that what he get a show. Now that's a damn shame, I guess. That what he hating faux boy, you so damn lame. Your click the same, just a bunch of walking. His stains disgrace and you give the city such a bad name. T.I also addressed their past, airing out how Shawty Lo had switched up on him despite them being cool back in the day. He rapped, but still, I hear you loud and clear on your little song. Goon, get your dissing on while the king gone, your self-esteem gone, 'cause I'm back now. Let's see if we can't teach these dudes how to act. Now you're kissing? Then you're jumping back. Now I check your A, then I shut your
loud clear on your little song. Hey, go get your dissing on, why the king.
T.I also addressed Shawty Lo's antics of driving around Bankhead, asking people if they knew him, calling it desperate and irrelevant. In the track he rapped, hey, what I care about who you asking, saying they ain't heard of me, I'm certified. Certainly your videos aren't hurting me. I still ride with the windows rolled down all around the at-town like it's go down.
That's saying they ain't heard of me. I'm certified, certainly. Them videos ain't hurt.
Then to add another layer, T.I threw in, goon, get yourself high. 'Cause I yelled Bankhead and you felt left out. I ain't mentioned your name. Is that what all this?
Bankhead and you felt left out. I ain't mentioned your name. That's what all this
about. But that wasn't all on his track. No matter what, T.I allegedly sent more shots at Shawty Lo with lines like, set the standard in Atlanta. How to get it. So you up and coming-ing rappers want a diss just off it. I'm officially the realest point blank period, whether I still live in the hood or just visit whatever you can do in the hood. I done did it, that's why the dope boys. And the misfits feel it, this still his city, long as tip-living T.I was doubling down on his status in Atlanta. He was effectively shutting down any questions about his credibility or his connection to the streets. By late 2008, the tension was sky high. Then came the infamous Dirty Awards in Atlanta in November of that year, where everything took a turn for the worse. Both T.I and Shawty Lo were in attendance, and their crews were eyeing each other from across the room. At first, things stayed relatively calm. There was tension, but nobody was acting out. That all changed when Shawty Lo hit the stage and performed his diss track Dun Dun. The performance was like lighting a fuse. Reports say that as Shawty Lo was performing, members of T.I's crew started throwing chairs onto the stage. The chaos got so bad that the show had to be temporarily shut down while security tried to get everything under control. During the break, it said that T.I and Shawty Lo actually crossed paths backstage and supposedly squashed the beef at least on the surface, but if there was any peace, it didn't last long. When the show resumed, T.I hit the stage and, according to witnesses, threw more shade at Shawty Lo in front of the entire crowd. That was the final straw. Tensions boiled over and their crews couldn't hold back anymore. A full-blown brawl broke out with both sides throwing punches.
It's a lot of times, you find yourself in positions around people who don't like you, but most of the time that's just because they don't like their damn self,
The chaos was so intense that the cops had to step in and use pepper spray to break it up. Shawty Lo himself ended up catching a face full of it during the melee. After the brawl at the Dirty Awards, the beef between Shawty Lo and T.I became one of the biggest stories in hip-hop. Every fan blogger and media outlet had an opinion on it, and it seemed like the tension was only going to escalate further. Shawty Lo kept the heat coming, clowning T.I in interviews, and even claiming T.I got punched in the face during the chaos. At this point, fans thought there was no way these two would ever see eye to eye. It was all out, war, and people braced themselves for more diss tracks, more public drama, and maybe even more fights. But then something unexpected happened. In a surprising twist, Shawty Lo and T.I decided to put the beef to rest to seal the deal. They even hit the stage together for a performance at T.I.'s club in Atlanta. Seeing the two of them together was a huge moment for the city and the culture. From there, both Shawty Lo and T.I went on to continue building their legacies. T.I solidified his spot as one of the greatest rappers to ever come out of Atlanta, and Shawty Lo remained a respected figure in the city. But then tragedy struck on September 21st, 2016. The city of Atlanta and the hip-hop community were hit with devastating news. Shawty Lo had passed away. That night started off like any other for him. He was out at the Blue Flame Lounge, a popular strip club, partying with his crew and enjoying himself. It was a normal chill night, and no one could have predicted the tragedy that was about to unfold. Shawty Lo left the club around 2 in the morning with 2 women in his car. They were driving down the highway in his Audi A7, and according to reports, Shawty Lo was really pushing it. Speeding down the road, the women in the car later revealed that they had asked him to slow down. But it seems he didn't take their warning seriously, unfortunately. Things took a deadly turn. Shawty Lo lost control of the car, drove over a guardrail, and the vehicle collided with 2 trees. He was ejected from the car, and by the time paramedics arrived, it was already too late. Shawty Lo was gone.
An exit ramp on I-285 is back open after a deadly crash in South Fulton County. We're learning more this morning about the man killed in the wreck. Local rapper Shawty Lo.
The details surrounding the crash left many people with questions. Shawty Lo reportedly had a significant amount of cash on him that night, and in a bizarre twist, the 2 women who were in the car with him ended up taking all the money off his body before leaving the scene. This sparked all kinds of rumors and conspiracy theories. Some people thought there was something sketchy going, especially since Shawty Lo's father had passed away just a week before. Shawty Lo had even recorded a tribute song called "Letter to My Father" to honor him. Fans started speculating about the eerie timing of their deaths, but in the end, there wasn't any concrete evidence to suggest foul play. It seems like Shawty Lo was just driving too fast without a seatbelt, and tragically, the consequences were fatal after the news broke. Atlanta was in mourning. Shawty Lo was more than just a rapper. He was a cultural figure who had left a lasting mark on the city. Tributes poured in from all corners of the rap game. T.I was one of the first to honor him. He posted a heartfelt message on Instagram giving Shawty Lo his flowers and expressing his respect for him as a pioneer and a legend. Even though they had their differences in the past, T.I made it clear that he always had love for Shawty Lo, and he recognized the massive impact Shawty Lo had on Atlanta's music scene. Other artists also paid their respects. Metro Boomin shared a photo of himself in the studio with Shawty Lo Future and Young Scooter, captioning it "Long Live." The king of Bankhead Future also honored him, tweeting "Legends never dies, Shawty Lo forever." Lil Yachty joined in too, sharing an old interview clip of Shawty Lo praising him and tweeting "Rip Shawty Lo." Even Shawty Lo's longtime friend Gucci M reacted to the news, posting "Damn it, Rip Shawty Lo." Without Rip Shawty Lo and D4L, the entire rap game in Atlanta would be different today. He paved the way for a ton of new artists to break into the industry, but unfortunately, he isn't around to see how big his impact really was.